Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2024 Top 37 countdown, place number 12. It's Belgium, Mustii, Before the Party's Over. Please do click on the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, like, share and comment below. Link to the music videos in the description, as is the link to my blog post. Belgium are one of Eurovision's inaugural members, and with 2024 marking their 65th appearance in the contest, only Germany have more appearances, and they're tied with the UK and France. Yet Belgium still only have one win at the contest, and that came back in 1986. Now, in the last 10 years, they've had a sort of a stop-start kind of renaissance. They've had four top 10 finishes in that time, including, very surprised to some people, 7th place last year with Gustav. They've also had 2 top 4 results as well amongst those 4 top 10 results. But they've also had a couple of non-qualifications as well. So up next to try and get Belgium's second win is Mustii and Before the Party's Over. Now, like many of this year's artists, Mustii is more than just a singer. He's also a songwriter, he's an actor and a TV personality. So he's played parts in both theatre and also TV productions, whether that's regular TV or Netflix as well. And he's been a judge on Belgium's version of Drag Race. However, it's as a musical artist that he's perhaps arguably been most prolific in recent years, with 2 album releases and several singles. And obviously it's as an artist, as a musical artist, he'll be going to Eurovision as. But he's been nominated for both music and acting awards in his career. And he was, I think, if not the first, or probably was the first, I think, Eurovision artist announced this year, or announced for 2024, all the way back on the 31st of August, which of course is a day before the official start of the new Eurovision season. Now, Before the Party's Over has several songwriters credited, including Mustii himself, but it also includes Belgian songwriter Nina Sampermans, who was the co-writer of Tout l'univers, which was the jury-winning song of Switzerland, sung by John's Tears in 2021. Now, I describe the song as being, well, I would call it in the dark pop category. I think Mustii himself has described the song as pop with a dark edge. It's contemporary, but there are some really nice 80s sounds or hints in the instrumentation, particularly in the early part of the song, that I like. It's a sophisticated song, and unlike some of our entries this year, it does have quite a lot of meaning within the lyrics, sort of behind the song itself. I think it's definitely a powerful song, and it's probably one of the most sort of coherent, impressive packages that we've got this year. My personal gripe with this, which is probably why it's not in my top 10, but it's very close, is that it just takes a little while to get to that big build-up, which takes place in the final minute, and then that build can feel a little bit repetitive once you're there, but maybe that's just from hearing the song quite a lot of times. I think also the staging and performance might mitigate some of those kind of gripes, but a lot of people do like the song a lot. And it's done very well in fan polls, and at the time of recording this, it was doing very well in the OGA annual poll. And looking at the scoreboard app, that reliable thing that we like to look at, it's high up in that as well, and has remained high there for the whole time. Generally, you'd think this was quite a safe bet for qualifying, and if you look at the semi-final only option in the app, again, you can see very high up there, and you would expect that to qualify. Though some, but by no means a majority, just some people have questioned some of the live performances or the live vocals as not being strong, or having, certainly not as strong as the studio version, or not being strong enough for the song. I do think people have a tendency to overreact and overanalyze, and the betting odds are still okay, although I think perhaps not quite as solid or as high up as you might have originally expected. Now, it is true that the Belgian delegation sometimes messes up when you think they've got a strong song and it doesn't quite turn out right. But I do think there's too much. They've got enough experience for that not to happen this time. And there's too much quality with the song and his experience, really, for that to go wrong, you would think. Now, on the basis that this does qualify, can Mustii win? Or at least achieve a good result. Now, on the former, achieving the win, I'm not sure I can see this getting quite a big enough combined jury and televote compared to some of its rivals. I think some of those that you'll see in the final will be more immediately engaging or accessible in terms of capturing televote. And on the other, jury-wise, there are some songs I think that might be rewarded a bit more than this, particularly if the vocal isn't quite tip-top. There are going to be some other performances that will get those kind of results. So I'm not sure this is quite enough to get the win. And it's interesting, Belgium is one of those countries, there's a handful of countries that you feel like the win is coming at some point. But sort of Belgium's route has been a bit sort of wobbly, been a bit up and down. But I think with this, I think they're back on the path to potentially getting that win in the fairly near future. This year, though, I think the win's probably a little bit beyond this, probably. This is also before rehearsals have started, so you never know. I might change my mind once rehearsals start. But at the moment, I think this is lining up to potentially be a good result. Another top 10 result, I think, is definitely very possible for Belgium this year. But what do you think? Do let me know in the comments, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.